Good morning. And when was the last time you heard church organ music on a Sunday? I was sitting around this morning and thinking to myself, it has been a long time since I've walked into a church service and had somebody playing 200-year-old hymns on a 100-year-old organ. You know, the organ itself is actually a really great instrument. The issue is these days is finding someone that has the skill to play one. It's not just simply knowing how to play the piano. Organ is a very complex instrument, and I respect the heck out of anybody who can sit down at one and make this kind of music. Truly, truly a lost art. Very few people today can play an organ. What a wonderful instrument that was. And it's kind of sad to see him go, but that's just the sign of the times, I suppose. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. And today we are going to do a quick synopsis, if you will, of this week's message. And this synopsis will be serve a few purposes. One, small group leaders can play this before you meet so that in case somebody missed the message, you'll have an idea of what's going on. And also, if you don't have time to watch the whole message today, well, you can get the cliff notes, and all of that works out pretty good. So with all that said, let me just tell you about what we're talking about. We're still in our series called Praying with Paul, and we're taking a look at several of the prayers that Paul prayed throughout his ministry when he was alive and kicking, like 2,000 years ago. And what looks like I had a visitor. And this week we're going to be in Colossians chapter 1, verses 9 through 14. I will leave it up to you to read that scripture, but what we're going to do is we're going to look at that prayer and take it apart and kind of see what it is Paul focuses on, what he's praying for, and why. And in this prayer, what we notice today is we see a petition, we see Paul asking for something, and then we see Paul then explains why and then how. And the petition is to know God's will. He wants the people of this church in Colossae to know God's will. And the reason we want to know God's will is so that we can please Him. And then by pleasing Him, when we please Him, He's also pleased when we bear certain fruits. Good fruits, not bad fruits. And Paul describes this worthy life, if you will. And what does a worthy life look like? Well, a worthy life is one that bears good fruit, and fruit is bringing people to the Lord. Fruit is, you're familiar with the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. There, I did it. I had to memorize that years ago for an old VBS song, and I still got it. Anyhow, we've got the fruits of the Spirit. We should be displaying kindness and faithfulness and all that stuff that brings pleasure to God. When we grow in His knowledge, when we learn more about Him, and when we have strength. Paul here prays for strength, so we have endurance and patience. And finally, we should be joyful. And Paul says we should be joyful and thankful because we've been qualified into His kingdom, basically meaning because we believe in Jesus, that we are qualified to be in His kingdom in eternity. And that's a pretty big deal. And so there you have it. There is this week's message synopsis. And I hope it helps. You know where to find me if you need me. If you have any questions, comments, or whatever, feel free to email me right here at the same email address I've had for the last 6 years. Give me an email, give me a call or a text if you have that information. Otherwise, I hope to see you soon. I would love to see you this morning at 9 or 10:30. But if I don't, I don't. We'll see you soon. Have a great day. And I will leave you with Blessed Assurance on the organ.